Can you hear me? Okay, it popped up on my phone now, so it's on. Yeah. Yeah. But you could cut it, you know, Quint would cut it. Yeah, he'll cut it. Okay. He cuts it and I start talking.
Good morning, good morning, good morning, St. Kitts Nevis. Good morning, Leeward Islands. Good morning, OECS. Good morning, Caribbean. And stepping out, we have to say good afternoon, good evening. Wherever you are, welcome to another edition of Island Tea here at WinFM 98.9. Yes, it is a strange voice. This is Troy Biff Mills, and I have the pleasure of being in the hot seat for the next about 3 weeks as the man quintessential one, Quint. He is on a well-deserved holiday starting today. So I've been thrown in the hot seat, and I'm going to try and do as good a job as he has been doing. At the end of the day, you are the markers. You'll tell me, boy, Biff, you're at 60%, 70, 80%. But I'm hoping to get as close as the quality as Quint. Obviously, we are two different people, two different personality. So I'm not going to try to be like Quint. I'm not going to be Quint. I'm going to be me, Troy Biff Mills, from SP, where the best be. We welcome you to another edition of Island Tea here on WinFM 98.9. Today, boy, March, the year slipping away. We're already into March. And I welcome my co-host, Cortense, here, looking as lovely and gorgeous as ever.
Good morning to one and all. Once again, welcome to today's edition of Island Tea. Just to remind you, I see technology is giving us a little trouble. I'm not seeing us on the YouTube feed. For some reason, it is not playing. Well, on my phone, I'm not seeing it playing. So if you can take a look at that. But just to remind you, we are being simulcast on TVC Channel 40. We are on YouTube. Once that is up and running, we're on Facebook and on your FM dial at 98.9. Our local number, 466-0989. In the U.S., 1305-921, 4619. In the U.S., 1718-285-6984. Or in the U.K., 0333-440065. Good morning to one and all. Biff, welcome you earlier. I hope we are all doing good on this Monday morning. Now, we know today's Monday, so we're going to have traffic talk at 8:30. But this morning, trying to get out of the junction, I realized that I hope the traffic department's listening. And when the officers come, I'll reiterate again. I think we need some more crossing guards, especially on peak hours and days of the week that we know are normally busy, which is Monday and Friday, and hours which are normally between 8 and 3 and 4 and 5. I think we need more traffic wardens at junctions so that traffic can flow even more smoothly. And I think some persons can agree with me because we are not courteous people sometimes. We all want to get to work on time, even though we are a minute late and we can't help that. So we don't let the other person get out at all. So as we begin this morning and as we get everything in order, I see we had a couple traffic accidents over the weekend. I pray that all those involved are doing well. I know I saw we had I'm going to say party, R&B party on the weekend. I don't know if any of those accidents are related to that, but I would like to suggest to promoters that you incorporate in your charging or in your event something called a sleep it off tent. In that tent, you have CCTV, you have security to make sure that everything goes well and that persons can sleep off whatever they have. Or if you want to just have an area where they're watching the cars or whatever while people sleep it off before they drive home, because we do not need people driving under the influence, if that was the case, and losing their lives. We need persons getting home safe. So consider when we're going to have fete or whatever it is. I'm not saying it's related. I just saw in a photo that some of the persons had on the bands, so I don't know. But let's consider a sleep it off tent, and you can include the cost, or a sleep it off area, and you could include the cost for the security and the CCTV that will watch them while they rest before they take themselves home carefully. Because I know we reiterate over and over again, designated drivers, but we're still seeing sometimes it's not working out. We need everybody to enjoy life and live life responsibly, and we don't need they themselves or innocent persons that are traversing the road to get hurt. Because in one of the instances, I see the vehicle was parked, minding its own business, and it was rear-ended, and it moved from one location to the other location in one of the traffic accidents that I know of that took place yesterday morning. So, folks, please be careful. Remember, no way is far today. If you're late already, just apologize or try your best to do better. But no way is far in St. Kitts, and your life is worth more alive than dead to someone. You never know who. In other news, Biff, you're good over there? I see
Yes.
you're rather quiet.
Yes,
Okay.
I'm allowing you to talk.
No, but you could join in, and I know you're trying to get in the groove, but you can always join in.
Well, you were doing an excellent job, and since you invited me in, for those who have been listening my sports, I'm the sportscaster here at WinFM, and whether I'm doing the daily sports or my sports show on the ball every Tuesday from 7 to 9 p.m., I always talk about that. Give some traffic tips.
Yes, that's your thing at the end.
Be responsible. If you're drinking, don't drive. You're driving, don't drink. If you're drinking, get a designated driver who, of course, isn't drinking, and you have to be aware of your surrounding. When you're driving, it's not just
you alone
and the vehicle in front of you, pedestrians on the side of the road. And I know there's been a talk about one of the questions you get when you're going for the traffic, when you're doing your driver's license. If you see a ball crossing the road, what next do you expect to see?
A child.
Now some persons say a bat.
You're being sarcastic.
No, seriously.
Why would the bat come?
Bat and ball.
No, I expect to see a child, because anywhere you see a ball running, some young child is running to get that ball because they want to out the person, or they're playing football, they want to get back on the field. So I think a child, I would never say a bat.
I agree, but it's
A
what
bat?
the people say bat. we are
Seriously?
bat and ball country. We play a lot of cricket. And of course, some persons are not too happy this morning because the wind is out at the hands of India. But so we have to be aware nonetheless, not just the parked vehicles, because in some cases vehicles just turn off in front of you without any indication. You might see a door open and somebody getting out because they didn't check the traffic behind you. So we have always to be aware. And of course, you have to drive to arrive alive. And like you mentioned, Cartens here, if you're not patient when you're driving, you get in an accident and what? You become a patient up at the hospital, JNF.
Your word.
Yes.
Don't be a patient.
Yes.
Be patient.
And I actually got that from my uncle, Neville Weeks in New York.
Okay.
People might know him as Manny Weeks. And by the way, he's celebrating birthday greetings to him. He's celebrating today. He and his better half or better three quarters, as the case may be. Carol, so happy birthday to you, Uncle Neville. Hope you're watching the show and enjoying it, as well as Carol. And to all who are celebrating today, happy birthday.
Yes.
And on the not so positive end, I don't know if you've been checking on social media. I'm seeing reports that
but go ahead.
one of our media colleagues has gone to the great beyond. And that's Carl V. Springett, who operated on another radio station. And would you believe somebody from the U.S., they sent the information to me first. And I said, well, hey, I haven't seen or heard anything. So
I don't understand, people overseas be sending you your news and you live right here.
Exactly. And I got a second note from my sister in the U.S. again. Say, Troy, I'm hearing this. How true is it?
Yeah.
And then I saw a third one. And then I said, why? and the sources I got it from the third time, it seemed to be credible. So I figured that was the case. So I gather it is really, really,
Yeah, I woke up to it this morning
really
actually from
passed.
somebody that has it on their status, so it has to be true.
And on behalf of WinFM 98.9 management staff, and of course yours truly, and the sports department, and yourself, Cartensia, we say condolences to his family and friends, especially Val Henry, his brother. And Springett, when I operated for several DJs up at the other station, he would call in and give me some tips. Hey, play this, play that, do this, do that, shift this, that, which I appreciated. I thanked him endless times privately, but this is the second time I'm thanking him publicly. I did it on Facebook yesterday. Calvi Springett, gone to the great beyond. I really appreciate the assistance and the teachings and the ideas he dropped on me, which obviously helped me to be a better person and be able to host Voices, Island Tea on my own this morning.
No, I'm just making it look like he can't host in the yard. He putting up a front. And Biff, on another note, on the same condolences, Father Smitten, he was once here in St. Kitts,
Yes, I
the
remember
Anglican
him.
Church. He has
He's
passed
passed.
on as well.
Well, I haven't heard that as yet.
Yeah, I saw it this morning, and then my husband confirmed it because he said that was his father too when he once attended the Anglican Church with his aunt in his younger days. So condolences to the Anglican fraternity, and condolences to the family of Mr. Carl Springett, and to all other persons in the Federation who are mourning a family in the regional and international diaspora, mourning the loss of a family or friend, whatever that person may have been to you. On behalf of WinFM, as Biff said, our condolences.
And, in Nevis, Cartensia, I don't know if you're familiar with the name DJ Marshall.
The late, oh my gosh, Mick Stokes' brother?
I think I heard that, yes, from Nevis.
Yes.
And I gather he was buried on Saturday.
Yeah, I see he was laid to rest as well.
Laid to rest on Saturday. And a very popular guy in Nevis.
I didn't know him though.
Well, something is wrong because normally when you go to Nevis, the first person you hear about is DJ Marshall. And he seemed to have had a way. He was a very good DJ, and similar to Rascal, who started the DJ business generally here in St. Kitts, I get the impression that he was the man who really started the DJ business in Nevis. He was the man who ran things, and he was also involved in cricket. Past president of the Nevis Cricket Association, and I think he played with the Nevis Masters team. So condolences to his family and friends, and of course the music fraternity and the Cricket Association, Nevis Cricket Association, on his passing. And these days, Cartensia, we have to live for the moment and enjoy it. We don't know when we number will play, because a Calypsonian from Nevis, this and that, has a song when your time come, and you can't say, hold on, check me back in 15 minutes.
But
check
do
me
we
tomorrow.
even know when our time comes? Exactly.
That's a good question, Cartensia. Some people believe that we do. And my mom passed in 1986, and I gather she knew she was going.
She was going, okay.
Because before she went, I was a little boy, of course, 1986, and she sat down in the front room, as we call it, and we had a stack of records. Eddie Hooper from Guyana, Peter, go ring them bells. I don't know if you remember that?
Yeah, because Guyana plays a lot of old songs, so I grew up on a lot of old songs.
I didn't realize you were that not so young. I thought you were much younger.
Quint, where are you?
So yes,
Good
him
morning.
and the Joseph Niles and things like that. And she sat and she made me play every single one of them.
Oh, wow.
And she sang, she clapped, she danced, she smiled. And she went to the doctor at some point, and I think the doctor was going to admit her to the hospital. But she asked the doctor if she could go home and sort out a couple things and come back, which she did. But she never came back from the hospital.
Oh, wow.
So I suspect she knew she was going, and she didn't come out and say anything, but she and my sister would have been a lot closer, so a lot of things. And my sister later told me that when she came home, she picked out a dress and said, well, hey, this is what
She wants to
be buried in, etc.,
wow.
etc. So I don't know if that
I know
is the
some
case.
people do that down to the T, and then the next thing, I don't know if you realize, they said they normally eat their last meal in full, like they eat. Like they weren't eating all the time, and then they just eat. Yeah.
Oh,
That's one of the signs I remember. And I've experienced it with my late uncle. He ate everything. He couldn't hold your hand like this, and he held his brother hand like that for a good while.
wow.
And then I'd be like, mm-mm, that the occurrences are too strange.
Hmm.
And then he kept saying he's ready to go to Greenland. He's ready to go to Greenland, and I keep deferring him, and hoping I can get the Grim Reaper to stay away. But I guess that wasn't the case. But continued empathies and condolences, because I know losing a loved one, it never goes away. It stays with you, no matter how long it is. So, yeah, condolences. I haven't lost anyone immensely close in terms of my mom and dad, and I'm hoping I have them around for a good while. Because as I said before, I would have said many times on the station, before we buried our elders, now we are burying, our elders are burying us.
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
I think the thinking and understanding is the children will bury the parents.
Yeah.
But been having the situation
The
where
parents.
parents are burying the children. And in some cases in the 20s and 30s, even in the teens.
Yeah, boy.
And that is why we need to enjoy the moment. We need to enjoy the now. We don't know what is going to happen in the next minute, 2 minutes from now. And some persons woke up this morning making a lot of plans, and chances are
Boy.
they gone to the great beyond. I think there are statistics somewhere that suggest that every minute how many persons die around the world. So according to old people, knock wood that we're here still.
Amen.
Cartens here whether we're
Yeah.
suspicious or not. You're listening to Island Tea here on WinFM 98.9. No, you haven't gotten the wrong station. You're hearing the voice of Troy Biff Mills. I'm holding on for the quintessential one, Quint or Q, who is on a well-deserved vacation, but my co-host Cartensia, she is holding my hand and guiding me through the waves. I hope your husband don't hear that and start to feel some way,
Oh,
Cartensia holding
he,
hand.
he knows he got a good one.
And it's not literal, of course. Gotta make it clear.
Exactly.
Because people are seeing us on Facebook and YouTube, so they may be thinking, oh, they're close. No, we are not. We're in two separate studios, part, and there's a
You're
screen there.
implicating yourself in
Of
things.
course, I like to put things on the table, be clear. But I'm hoping that we're going to have a wonderful morning this morning, Cartensia. The traffic, the police, they are in a few minutes. And I don't know if we could preempt their discussion when they come with the traffic accident. We had at least one traffic accident on the weekend. I'm not too certain the condition of the person or persons. But when we hear traffic accident, it's never a pleasant moment. And we always would wonder, why did it happen? What caused it? What condition they were in? And we could never appeal enough to, please, if you mentioned sleepover area, and you're tired and you're sleepy, pull up on the side of the road. Lock up your vehicle. When that happened to me, I normally leave about an inch of, turn down my glass about an inch, all four glasses. So then a little air could come in and I wouldn't suffocate. And of course, you have to lock up because we're not in the safest environment.
Exactly. But that's why I think they should create a spot. Call it sleep it off spot. Put in CCTV, have security because, you can't trust everybody. So have security because people are going to have their things. You don't want anybody wake up and their things are missing because some person that in the sleep it off too might just want to be malicious and take people's stuff. So I'm just saying, just have good security there so everybody could feel safe. Or even, as you so rightfully say, have an area where their cars can be, they're sleeping in their cars, but somebody's still watching them. Because people can be malicious because what's the sense of them driving home? You're getting tired, your eyes shutting down, and you're getting problems.
Indeed. Let us take a quick break before
Traffic talk?
traffic talk that come up, Cartensia.
Yeah, that's at 8:30 today.
Yes, you're listening to Island Tea. Stick and stay. Don't go away. We will be right back.
Miss Lee, yes, it's me, Earthquake. I come in Tuesday around 10. No, sir. Earthquake does arrive unannounced. And when it come, it shake all sense and sensibility out of we. Remain calm, stay inside, and do the DCH. Drop, hover, hold on. Once the shaking starts, you know it's earthquake. Make a quick move to a safe place. Don't run to the door, we are in the exit. Stairs might block up or full of people. Elevator, avoid that because you might get in and poof, power gone, and you're stuck in that box without ear. Take cover under a strong table or a bed, or crouch against an inside wall or in a corner, and cover your face and your head with your arms. Remember, DCH, drop, cover, hold on. Glass windows and doors, outside walls and doors. In an earthquake, bad news. Take care yourself. Most injuries during earthquakes happen when something drop and hit people entering or exiting a building. Last thing, nobody run outside and ask, you feel it, you feel it? Remain calm, stay indoors until all the shaking stop, and do the DCH, drop, cover, hold on.
This message is sponsored by the Australian Government, AusAid, and produced by NEMA in collaboration with WinFM.
Unlock the secrets to a healthier you. Join Dr. Natalie Osborne every Tuesday at 8:30 a.m. on WinFM 98.9 for Weekly Dose. During this 30-minute health discussion, we aim to educate and empower our listeners on the prevention of diseases, early diagnosis, and timely intervention. Don't miss out on this informative health talk where we teach you to live your best life. Weekly Dose, Tuesdays on WinFM 98.9.
Different. We're 98.9. 98.9. Win FM.
Magnum, my brand. Everybody put a Magnum in the air now. From you a drink Magnum, make me see. Take charge of things now your place now. From the river to the beach to the street. Hot Magnum when me have in a me hand there. He are a sipper, she tell me sweet. Look for me watch for your quick time check. Yeah. Right now a Magnum for your beat. Enjoy yourself every day of the week with a Magnum. My life I forget sweeter. Must be 18 years and older to drink responsibly.
If you need protection, you need one who you can trust. To secure your investment, you need one who'll do you just. TDC Insurance, you're the one that you can trust. TDC Insurance, you're always safe with us.
TDC Insurance is your go-to insurance company for all your insurance needs. We take pride in offering you the best solutions and ensuring our customers are fully satisfied. TDC Insurance, we take good care of you, guaranteeing you peace of mind.
You're always safe with us.
Caribbean numbers come and play. Just one single dollar, that is the way. You can pick one number or two or three. I win up to 20,000, you see. 3 ways to play, 3 draws a day, 3 ways to win. Hear what we say. Caribbean numbers is the easiest game to play.
The new Caribbean numbers.
So play today.
At any Caribbean lottery agent island-wide.
So play today.
The Sound 98.9. Win FM.
You ever hear Earthquake call and say, hello, Miss Lee, yes, it's me, Earthquake. I come in Tuesday around 10. No, sir. Earthquake does arrive unannounced. And when it come, it shake all sense and sensibility out of we. Remain calm, stay inside, and do the DCH. Drop, hover, hold on. Once the shaking starts, you know it's earthquake. Make a quick move to a safe place. Don't run to the door, we are in the exit. Stairs might block up or full of people. Elevator, avoid that because you might get in and poof, power gone, and you're stuck in that box without ear. Take cover under a strong table or a bed, or crouch against an inside wall or in a corner, and cover your face and your head with your arms. Remember, DCH, drop, cover, hold on. Glass windows and doors, outside walls and doors. In an earthquake, bad news. Take care yourself. Most injuries during earthquakes happen when something drop and hit people entering or exiting a building. Last thing, nobody run outside and ask, you feel it, you feel it? Remain calm, stay indoors until all the shaking stop, and do the DCH, drop, cover, hold on.
This message is sponsored by the Australian Government, AusAid, and produced by NEMA in collaboration with WinFM.
We are back on Island 2, just about 31 minutes after the hour of 8. And with us in studio today, we have Constable Bell. We're waiting the arrival of Sergeant Maguire, but we will begin. And I want to begin with this. It says, and it's from Caribbean Times, police officer charged for driving without license and insurance after Newton ground crash. Do you know anything about that, kind sir? And are you at liberty to discuss that?
I don't have any knowledge of it. Well, I see the post, but I don't have the facts about it. I don't even know who the officer is, to be honest.
Okay. Well, I am happy to see that at least we can put the trust to know that the officer will get their own and not just get us, the people, when we are wrong. But I said I will ask that question at the top of Traffic Talk, and I hope you got some rest because I see we had a lot of accidents. Yeah. And as I was saying earlier, I think the promoters and the persons that put these feds together should have a sleep it off area, be it in your car or a sleep it off tent with CCTV, extra security, just to make sure people get a little rest or sleep off the alcohol morning, Sergeant, or sleep off the alcohol before they take to the roads.
That's a little more expense on the
But you put it in that ticket, how about that?
You also put drink responsibly.
But they don't, if we don't listen to one thing, anything, we should put in the next thing.
That's on them.
Yeah, that's okay, sir. So you can get it. So I was saying we had a few accidents over the weekend.
You could continue.
No, okay.
We on, you know. Oh boy, what a Monday. Yeah, so yeah, I think they could include it if you know you're gonna just. Why go on the road and cause accidents? I don't know what's the cause of.
Why drink and you know you have to drive?
I get that, but why go on the road, park up and sleep now, man? As Biff was saying, turn down the windows in your car a little bit and take a little nap. So maybe we could include it in the sleep it off area. AC and all, blankets and all, so all of their price of your ticket go up. People willing to pay for these things. What do you think about that?
I think they should get a designated driver. If they're driving, don't drink.
Okay. And Sergeant Maguire, before you came in, I was asking Constable Bell. He said he don't know anything about it, but I just wanted to ask. Police officer charged for driving without license and insurance after Newton ground crash. And I was telling him, I'm pleased to see that officers are being held accountable and not just us. So are you at liberty to speak on that, or you can't?
Well, sometimes when matters are sub duty, say you don't want to speak about it, but not specifically to that, except to say that we have always been holding officers accountable. Any action by any officer that is deemed to be unprofessional or brings the reputation of the police force in disrepute is always frowned on, and so we have to be cognizant of that we are also accountable to the public that we serve. Yes, so but as I said the last time I was here, I spoke about the professional standard, where that is the department that really enforces the principles, the ideals, and the core values of the police force. So whenever there is an infringement of those values or the civil right of citizens are being breached, their responsibility is to investigate, and once they find that there is any breach, disciplinary breach, then that officer is being held to be made accountable. I myself are one of the prosecutors in those disciplinary matters.
He ain't gonna see me over there.
Why not? Why not? Right is right and wrong is wrong. If I do something, I expect you all to hold me accountable too.
That's why I'm gonna do the right thing. He ain't gonna see me over there.
Years from now, when he's over there, I'm gonna remind him, so what are you doing over here? Exactly. And one more thing before we get into our topic this morning. We know how Mondays and Friday mornings are. We know how 3 o'clock and 4 o'clock and 5 o'clock are. Is it possible that we can get some more traffic wardens at the junction so they can really control the traffic? Because as a people, including me at times, we are not kind. We just want to get where we're going. So we don't allow people to come out Or people that have the right to way, we just leave them there stuck and we do our own things, pelting, speeding, doing whatever. Can we have more crossing guards at junction to ensure the smooth flow of traffic, especially on the days that are busiest?
Right, and I recognize the need, the immediacy might not be that so germane, Hortensia, because the whole thing about it is that we have to balance the increase of vehicles and the fact that the traffic lights, they are in close proximity. And I know that in the past we have had recommendations that in terms of the number of vehicles, and we can look at redesigning, and that is being under consideration, but it is not so much practicable. So what we're encouraging motorists to be a little bit more patient, be a little bit more ethical in terms of road courtesy, and just be a neighborly in terms of being courteous. You just wait for your turn. But I know that everybody wants to get from point A to point B in their own time, and so but the thing about that is, in these instances that we have accidents, and so we will always want to prioritize safety, and so motorists have to be part of that priority prioritization of safety. But it's something that we will continue to monitor, Hortensia, and once we see that it's something that really warrants the manual, because we felt liberated when the traffic lights came. Police officers had to go to the traffic point. It's a very onerous task, and we really felt liberated when the lights were in place. And I am not sure that you will find, despite how iconic Daniel Libo Cheverton was, I am not sure that you'll have any police officer who's very much enthused in going back at the traffic point unless.
But it's just on the specific days, namely Monday and Friday, when it's busy.
And I take that we will monitor, and then we will look at the peak hours and see how we can assist in the efficiency flow of the traffic. Yeah.
All right.
So it's something that I'll take on board and note.
All right. Thank you for that.
You got to also consider that that's extra manpower needed. Yeah, and the traffic wardens, majority of the time, around those peak times, that's where they're at the school zones. So
create some more jobs to some people.
What about some more people apply?
Well, yeah, that's what I mean. But
increase the workforce.
That's why I say wink, wink. So
that might have
powers at B, once the people apply.
Cost,
oh Lord. So, but at the behest of safety and losing some of us, come on. All right, gentlemen, let me not take away too much from your topic.
Right.
It's already 39 minutes after 8, so Constable Bell, if you wish to start. Or
yes, last week we started on the topic authorization to transfer ownership of motor vehicles on behalf of companies and businesses.
Just allow me to interject, Hortensia. It's really will be remiss that we would have just came out of a weekend with the CARICOM heads and so on, and we did not really show appreciation for the cooperation of the general public in terms of the free flow of traffic, and we didn't have a lot of challenge in that regard. I think that the weekend itself was very productive in terms of the success of the conference and how citizens really, do their part in ensuring that everything goes well and so on. And so on behalf of the High Command, I really want to extend that to the general public.
All right. So, folks, we did well.
Yes.
Yeah, I don't think I heard of any challenges or any incidents.
Look at us.
Yeah, so.
Yes. We have gone international.
Yeah. So the
global.
The public do listen and comply at times. Yeah, so
Into the topic now.
yeah, so as I was saying, authorization to transfer ownership of motor vehicles on behalf of companies and business. You know, we would have started, and one caller would have suggested a farm and what's not.
Yeah.
The sergeant would have commented on that.
Yeah.
However, we will.
Actually, I got a text from the deputy. He said, give it up. The man is correct.
Oh, so caller, you heard that?
He said the man
You
is
won this
correct.
one, caller. For the people.
Yes. So we are listening and we are taking the suggestions. So we're not just letting them drop on deaf ears.
Good to know.
So we started on, we finished last week on naming the authorized persons for each different business or company.
Yeah.
Where we had companies incorporate under companies, the Companies Act, partnership, sole traders operating under the registered business name, and statutory bodies are government ministries. Now, for the companies or incorporated entities, the transfer must be executed by the director of the company or the company secretary or any other officer or employee formally authorized in writing by the company's board of directors. So it must be authorized, sealed, stamped, notarized if needed. Partnership, the transfer must be executed by any named partner listed on the partnership registration or a person authorized in writing by all partners. Sole traders or registered business, the transfer must be executed by the registered owner of the business or a person authorized in writing by the registered owner. So if the owner is not present or able to do that transfer, the owner must put it in writing and notarize it for that person to conduct the
Business
transfer
on their behalf.
Right. So there is a slight difference between the company and the sole trader or the partnership. The thing about it, what is the emphasis is the authorization. Who is authorized to transact and that on behalf of who is lawfully authorized to transact that business. So then at the end of the day, anything that come into question, it can really stand the test of legality. And so where there is a sole trader, well, obviously that owner or the person that is authorized by that owner, in the case of partnership, it is not definitive that the both partners must sign, but it must be clarified that it is something that both partners had intended in relation to that.
Okay.
Because remember with partnership, there are 50-50
It depends.
in interests. Well, it depends. You're correct. It depends on how
the percentage
the
is
partnership is thing. But what I'm saying, the point I'm trying to make, that there are there are interests from both sides.
Yes.
And so any transference, you're transferring the interest of that other person, and it will not be fair to transfer that person's interest unknowing to that person.
Yes.
That's correct. All right.
Yes, and for the statutory bodies and the government ministries, the transfer must be executed by the accounting officer, chief executive officer, or equivalent, or a senior officer in the Ministry of Finance.
Okay.
I don't know if these are...
Right, so that one is a little bit more technical. You know, it's government vehicles.
Yeah.
And so you want to make sure once the sale of a government vehicle is being authorized, that authorization must come from persons who are duly authorized.
So I see when we speak about government, Officer Bell had a list. Are we going through that list to the final sale? or is just
No,
either
no,
one
no.
of those persons?
Yes,
Okay.
yes,
All
yes,
right.
yes.
Okay.
It's optional.
Yeah, because I thought it's government,
Yes.
it's want to make sure nobody
Yeah,
doing
yeah.
nothing bad. So, you start from top to middle to.
Well, most of the time it starts with the Ministry of Finance.
Yes, as he mentioned.
The Ministry of
Yeah.
Finance. That's where it starts. And so once the ministry consent of the sale, then it comes back down to the permanent secretary, who is head of that department. Not necessarily the minister, but the permanent secretary. So anybody who have that kind of executive directorship, once you have that kind of authorization, then it is accepted that that is something, and that will take care of any question as to whether there is it is duly authorized.
Okay.
The sale is duly authorized.
All right. Copy.
Yes. So number 4 of the policy, it talks about the mandatory documents. All applications for transfer of ownership on behalf of business entity must be accompanied by the following documents. Proof of authorization being one of the following. 1. A letter of authorization on the company's official letterhead, signed and stamped by the director or company secretary. 2. A certified board resolution authorizing the transaction. 3. Partnership authorization signed by all partners, or sole trader authorization signed by the business owner.
And again, it is not saying that you must have all of those. It's either or.
Okay.
In relation to that, there must be some genuine proof that authorization has been given from the appropriate authority. And once we are satisfied with that, then that is good to go. Yeah.
Yes. The second is for identity of the person executing the transfer, a valid government-issued photo ID. Now, sometimes persons come to the department and maybe they have the driver's license, the social security. So we just how the banks and other companies want to make sure that everything is in order and legal. Traffic department want to keep it that way too.
No, we technically, man, as human beings, we can't go anywhere on an expired passport, right?
Exactly.
So, as you rightfully say, we can't conduct business in the bank with anything expired. That's crazy. So, yeah, we just have to
they're just looking at the IDs that, you can just look at the ID, you can identify
But
that's
you're going
my
to
name.
the people that could put you in 1840 and tell them take an expired ID? No, that don't make no sense, man. Come on.
Yes. So to answer a lot of people's question, can someone do a transfer if they don't have a driver's license? Yes, they can.
Okay.
But it makes it very easier for the police or the officers if you have a driver's license, especially entering it in the VRS. Okay.
What if it's somebody that's like in the late 70s, they know they're not going to drive anymore, they don't have a valid driver's license, you still make them go take out a license?
I would let the sergeant answer that question.
Okay.
Yeah. So in the case of where the person doesn't have a driver's license,
but they want to change you, I'm buying it from them and they want to change the ownership, but their license expired. They just decide. Like in the case of my uncle, he decided after a while he wasn't going to drive. So I think he had to do a change of ownership with his brother. But I don't remember if his license was valid or not. But what if he didn't have a valid license? You're going to send him to get a valid license because he stopped going outside, he stopped doing everything.
Well, the thing about it is that why the license is important for the purpose of insurance. You will, because the vehicle will have to be insured. So that is what Bell was saying. If you have you don't have to register the vehicle as an owner by having a driver's license. You can be named as an owner, but the problem is the vehicle needed to be insured.
I think the question she's asking, it doesn't matter which kind of ID it is. If it's expired, seeing that it's an elder person who
Yeah.
is not moving
Oh,
about.
if the ID is expired?
Yes.
Not the ID per se, the license, because it
Oh,
was
just the
mentioned
license.
that
Oh, it's just the
it
license.
makes
They
better
could
sense
use-
to do the
yeah.
license.
But they can bring any other type
They
of
can
ID.
bring any
Oh,
other
so he
ID.
doesn't need
Yeah.
to
Right,
renew.
right,
Okay,
yeah.
okay. Or he
He
or she
need,
doesn't
he
need to
need
renew.
a valid ID.
Government. Okay,
Yeah.
got you,
Yes.
got you. Okay.
And also, you need the vehicle registration certificate and any other documents required under the existing licensing regulation or policy.
Okay.
So, when you come into the traffic department, you come with the registered owner. If the registered owner is not present, you come with the authorized document signed by them, signed, stamped, or whatever, notarized from them, permitting you to conduct business on their behalf. Your valid ID, social security, once it's a government photo ID, and the vehicle registration certificate. That would have all the information about the vehicle
Okay.
on that document. You know, sometimes, and also persons that come and they don't have that, but they just want to give us whatever information they have, and sometimes those information are incorrect, and sometimes they are so malicious with it they don't even know the chassis number or the engine number for the vehicle, but just because they want it to transfer over in the name, they come and give us anything, but they don't understand now. When you get into an accident, if you're registering one vehicle with a chassis number and on the scene, it's investigated and realize that is another chassis.
That's an extra charge.
Yes,
Right.
because that vehicle is not registered. You give us wrong information.
Falsified.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah, it is very, very, very important because identity is very, very important. The thing about it is that our information that we have been keeping on your behalf at the point of registration, we rely on that information as the genuine and authentic identity of the vehicle. And so when you bring that document, is a corresponding entry to what you want. So then there isn't any mistake in your intent. You want to transfer X, and so X must be identical to the information that you're giving us of the transferal. The other reason for that is that if your information that you give does not correspond with our information, it means several things. The document might be incorrect, or at the point of registration there might be an error, because we would have seen that where let's suppose that you import a vehicle, the error might be made at the point of custom not recognizing. And so when you bring that document and we realize that we could pick up on that, because any change to the system change the whole identity of the vehicle, either zero, dash, whatever. So that is it's why it is so specific that and important that you bring your document. We always say to people, sometimes people come and they say, well, I want a proof of ownership. And we have run into a little challenge where the person didn't have anything. Now, we will, when you come and you ask for proof of ownership, it's a report. We count it as a report. So once you pay for the report, we give it to you. But what I realize is the challenge of that. When you say, well, this information is not correct, and I use an example the last time, now what are we going to verify against? And that is why we always encourage persons, even though you register at the traffic department, your documentation a very important document for you to keep. So you must have it in a safe place, and it must be readily available and accessible that you can have it, because this is how you will be able to have that corresponding entry in the event of any error.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yes. Verification and Yes, verification and due diligence. I think the sergeant just kind of went through it.
Yeah.
The traffic staff should, 1, verify the identity of the person executing the transfer. 2, examine and retain copies of the authorization documents. Confirm that the signatory is consistent with the company's registered officers where applicable. And 4, refuse to process any transfer where documents is incomplete, inconsistent, or appears to be fraudulent. Yes, and that's another challenge you have to, especially, well, not to stray from the transfer, especially when persons come to do temporary license. You know, they come with every country have different types of driver's license, and sometimes the driver's license come through, and the officer who is dealing with that person cannot verify it, and they would tell them, well, you would have to come back, but they would look at it as an inconvenience. Yes, but the officer also have to have due diligence.
Yeah. To make sure it's not a
Because if that,
fraudulent.
because that officer can get in problems also.
Yeah. I see it has here where doubt exists, the matter shall be referred to the supervising officer.
Yes.
We both look at you.
But yeah, and that is because the officer are different. They are different liners.
Yeah.
And so I always encourage that once there is any instances where you might not be able to resolve it, it's always best to bring the supervisor involved so we can look at it further and see and make a decision as to how the right approach to deal with it in relation to that. So, yes.
Yes, and the prohibited actions, no employee, driver, or agent of a company shall be permitted to transfer ownership without written authorization. Verbal authority shall not be accepted under any circumstances. So
That's
you can't call and say, hey, it's me.
Who's you?
allow Tom to and you know, sometimes even with that, sometimes persons call the traffic department and they're like, hey, my name is this, that I'm the owner of this vehicle. I'm trying to get some information on it. And I will tell them, I'm sorry, you have to come in person with a valid ID, a valid photo ID, and then we can start from there.
Yeah.
We cannot just give out those information over the phone.
I realize now that a lot of people are calling and they said, this vehicle parked by my gate.
Who the owner be?
Who is the owner? I want to know who the owner is. I'm trying to get in touch with this person and all those kind of things. And I say, excuse me?
Exactly, no.
I always say to them, I said, do you have a vehicle? And they will say yes. I said, you will like somebody to call and give your info and request your information.
Yeah.
I said, we are the custodian of people's personal record, and it must be protected. It's not like that. There is a procedure.
Yeah, in a
and
case,
there
call
are
the officer to come
instances
out.
when those information can be given, and so on. But I find that it becoming very prevalent, people, because they are aware that police, you know, you have the portal that you can access the information, and so everybody calling.
And what if you give that information and they don't want the information for that innocent
and
situation?
that's what I was just about to say.
And just to reassure the public that we being cognizant of that. There was a time when all officers have access to the information. That has since changed. There are levels of access.
Okay.
And so Bell, as a traffic officer, he has certain level of access, and the supervisor have certain level of access, and it goes as you excel in rank, and you understand the reason for that.
Yes, totally.
Yeah.
So for me to get someone's number, I have to call the sergeant for him to approve.
Yeah, and he has to justify it.
Yes.
Why?
the request, yeah.
Okay. All right.
So nobody called me to get any information from no vehicles. Yeah, sometimes people call and they was like, I see this vehicle there, I want to buy it. I want the owner information.
No. Do it the right way, folks.
Yeah.
All right, so we're at the record keeping and offenses and sanctions. I want us to finish this today because last week we didn't get a chance to.
Yes, so record keeping, the traffic department shall retain copies of all authorization and identification documents submitted in support of business-related ownership transfer for audit and investigative purpose in accordance with the applicable record retention policies. So just in the event that we have to do any investigation, we have our documents, and when the audit persons come through, we have our information also.
So let me argue for the common man before we continue. You said business related. You mean even if I transfer my vehicle to you, that's considered business and you'll have my documents, or this is just for corporations and government?
I wanted to
Okay.
repeat that question
So
before
I am transferring, you're buying my vehicle.
Yes.
So we have the correct transaction, everything went through. Will my records be retained, or are these records retained just for organizations like TDC and Horsfords and government?
No, the records are retained at traffic.
For
department.
everybody?
For
Yeah,
everybody.
we keep
Got
a
you.
record.
Okay.
Everybody.
I see business related, so I just didn't want to think it was about the
No.
businesses alone.
But business
No,
could
no.
be